Who truly owns the golden honey? When bees and wasps just can't agree. A wise Judge Hornet devises a clever test to find out the truth in *, the honey dispute, a buzzing trial.
Deep within a sun-dappled forest, a wonderful secret was discovered one warm afternoon. A store of the most wonderfully sweet honey had been found inside a very old, hollow tree. The air around it hummed with the joyful buzz of many creatures, but especially the excited bees. Golden honey, oozing from a crack in the bark, smelled absolutely delicious. It was a treasure beyond compare, glistening invitingly in the sunlight. This golden reward was the sweetest find they had ever encountered. Suddenly, a group of wasps buzzed into the clearing, their wings beating with determination. They spotted the glistening honey and immediately declared it was theirs. They landed fiercely near the hollow tree, their long bodies poised. The bees, who had been joyfully gathering the nectar, were shocked by this bold claim. A shiver of unease passed through the busy bee community. How could this delicious discovery suddenly belong to someone else? The argument quickly grew louder, filling the forest clearing with a cacophony of buzzing and chirps. The bees insisted the honey, a symbol of their hard work, could only be theirs. The wasps, however, were just as certain, flapping their wings aggressively. It seemed as though their disagreement might escalate into a noisy, unpleasant battle. Each flutter of a wing, and every indignant buzz, added to the rising tension. The happy atmosphere around the honey tree vanished, replaced by stern faces and worried antennae. Just as the air crackled with impending conflict, a wise old bee, with slightly faded stripes and kindly eyes, flew forward. "Wait," he buzzed, his voice calm yet firm, rising above the noisy debate. "Why should we fight when we can find a common ground?" He then suggested, with much good sense and a thoughtful tilt of his head, they seek out a judge. Both the bees and the wasps, tired of the endless bickering, agreed to this clever idea. A wave of relief rippled through the gathered insects, replacing their anger with a glimmer of hope. So, they brought their buzzing case before the most respected figure in their part of the woods, Judge Hornet. He was known for his fairness and keen insight, a true justice of the peace for all woodland creatures. The court was held in a quiet glade, under the shade of a grand oak tree, with a towering mushroom serving as a judge's bench. All the bees and wasps waited anxiously for the proceedings to begin, their tiny hearts thumping with anticipation. Judge Hornet, a majestic figure, prepared to listen carefully to both sides of the honey dispute. When Judge Hornet finally called the case to order, witnesses began to share what they had seen. An ant, a diligent observer of the forest, was among the first to testify. He described seeing certain winged creatures near the hollow tree, creatures that hummed loudly as they worked. The ant carefully explained that these creatures had bodies striped vividly in yellow and black. Everyone in the glade listened closely, trying to picture the scene the ant was painting with his words. "Aha!" buzzed the wasp, acting as counsel, a clever speaker for his group. He immediately insisted that the ant's description fit his clients perfectly. "Striped bodies? Yellow and black? Humming loudly? That sounds exactly like us, the wasps," he declared with a flourish of his wings. A murmur went through the wasp crowd, pleased with their lawyer's quick thinking. They believed this evidence clearly stated the honey belonged to them. However, this initial evidence did not truly help Judge Hornet make a clear decision. Both bees and wasps fit the general description of striped, yellow and black, humming creatures. He needed more time to ponder this puzzle and find a truly fair outcome. So with a deep sigh and a thoughtful tap of his horn, Judge Hornet decided to adjourn the court. He announced a 6-week recess, giving himself ample time to think everything over very carefully. Both sides left the glade, feeling a mix of impatience and concern for the honey. 6 long weeks later, The day finally arrived for the court to reconvene. The glade was even more crowded than before, with a large number of eager witnesses from both sides filling every available space. Judge Hornet, looking as thoughtful as ever, called the case again, and the atmosphere was thick with anticipation. An industrious ant, ready to present new observations, was the first to approach the witness stand. He was just about to be cross-examined, his tiny antennae twitching nervously, when a calm voice rose above the buzz. It was the same wise old bee from before, his voice gentle but clear. He slowly addressed the court, his words carrying weight and wisdom. "Your Honor," he began, "this case has now been pending for quite some time, 6 weeks to be exact." He sighed softly, looking towards the hollow tree. "If it is not decided very soon, the precious honey will unfortunately not be fit for anything. It might spoil entirely." He then proposed a brilliant and fair solution to the problem. "I have a motion," the wise old bee continued, his voice steady. "I move that both the bees and the wasps be instructed to perform a simple task, build a honeycomb." A ripple of surprise went through the crowd. He explained further, "Then we shall truly see who the honey really belongs to, for only true honeymakers know how to build such a perfect structure and fill it with sweet nectar." The suggestion hung in the air, a clever challenge for both parties. As soon as the wise old bee finished his proposal, the wasps began to protest loudly, their voices rising in a frantic buzz. "No! That's not fair!" they shrieked, flapping their wings in distress and confusion. They knew, deep down in their pointed abdomens, that they could not possibly build a honeycomb. It was a skill unique to the bees, a secret passed down through generations. Their noisy objections echoed through the glade, sounding desperate and defeated. They had been caught in their own clever trap. Wise Judge Hornet listened patiently to the wasps' clamorous protests. With a slight nod of his head, he quickly understood exactly why they were making such a fuss. Their loud, desperate cries revealed everything he needed to know about their true abilities. The test was truly brilliant, a simple challenge that unveiled a profound truth. A calm and knowing expression settled on the judge's face, for the answer to the long-standing dispute was now crystal clear in his intelligent golden eyes. "It is clear," declared Judge Hornet, his voice booming with fair authority across the glade. "It is clear who made the comb, for they can build it, and it is equally clear who could not have made it, for they refused to even try." He paused, letting his words sink in. "Therefore, the honey, born of skill and hard work, rightfully belongs to the bees." A wave of joyous buzzing erupted from the bees, while the wasps hung their heads in shame and defeat. Justice had been served in the most delicious way. And so, the bees returned to their honey, richer not just in sweet nectar, but in the knowledge that honesty and hard work truly pay off. This important lesson teaches us that skills and genuine effort will always reveal the real truth. Just like the bees, we learn that it's important to be honest about what we can and cannot do. Pretending you have a skill you don't will eventually be found out. Always choose to be truthful and hardworking, for those are the qualities that truly shine.
Ever dreamed of being the hero? Now you get to be the star. Your adventure starts at TalesMio. Visit talesmio.com now.